Hi everyone. I think I'm live. I'm just like messing around on my phone trying to find the live video pop up. Hi, how's everybody doing? I got it. How's everybody doing? Last week I did my first live video here in the group. I was so excited and it was such a good video. We talked about connecting with your spirit guides. Hey Christy, how's it going today? I'm so excited to be here to talk about intuition and strengthening intuition. So as everybody's popping on, why don't we answer the question, how do you connect with your intuition, and do you feel like it is something that's like low, medium, or strong? So I would say that a couple years ago, I just wasn't even connected to my intuition at all. I was just living my life and it was day by day and I was just going through the motions. Everything, really. Like, I guess nothing really changed in my life. Everything was pretty much the same. I did the same thing every day, and I wasn't trying to make changes. I was satisfied. I was satisfied with my life, but at the same time, like when I really started thinking about it, I noticed that I wasn't feeling fulfilled. You know, satisfaction and fulfillment are two really different things. And so I'm really excited to be talking about this. When I first started really connecting with my intuition, it was through daily meditation. Sid, how's it going? It was through daily meditation. Hey, Amber. And it really helped me find a lot of clarity that I wasn't looking for before. Like I said, I was kind of going through the motions of my life. I was getting up, I was going to work. Maybe I'd, you know, have a book on when I was driving to and from work. And then I'd come home and I'd watch TV. And I just pretty much get up and do it over again every single day. I wasn't really taking any time to reflect on what I wanted, to be able to make the changes that I would eventually decide that I wanted to make in my life. Hey everybody! Everybody's popping on now, so I'm really excited. So first off, why don't we all just answer in the comments, how connected do you feel to your intuition? Low, medium, or high? How do you feel like you connect the best? And for any of you that have not watched last week's video, when we're done here, I really encourage you to watch last week's video because it was so good, connecting with your spirit guides. Okay, so first off, I wanted to quickly go through some of the benefits of, you know, connecting to spirit guides, your intuition, etc., etc. Christy's saying that she doesn't feel as connected as she'd like to be with her intuition, right? Let's just take should out of our vocabulary. All of us, no shoulds, cross that off. As much as I'd like to be. Just going through the motions, totally. Paige says medium connection. So let's talk about some of the benefits. So we talked about this a little bit last week too. So first off, what are some of the things you can think of that are benefits to connecting to your intuition? One of the biggest reasons I love to connect to my intuition is to help me with decision making. We talked a little bit about this last week too, but like a lot of times we try to outsource our issues to other people. So we're like, hey, I've got this problem and I don't know what to do. What should I do? And so we're talking to four of our friends, maybe one of our parents, maybe even our kids, and we're asking everybody the same question. I have this one problem. What should I do? And you know what? You're going to get different answers for every single person that you ask, usually. And so this is like how we kind of outsource guidance, right? And so when we're connecting to our intuition, we don't need to do that. We don't have to ask other people what's best for us. We get to ask ourselves or our higher power or our higher self what's best for us, our spirit guides maybe. Another reason why I like to connect my intuition is to discover next steps. So maybe I am feeling stuck and I'm like, this isn't really going anywhere. I'm not getting what I want. What are some next steps for me? What should I try next instead? So maybe some solutions too. Asking for those next steps can be one of the reasons why I think it's really great to be in tune with our intuition. Getting unstuck, right? If we feel stuck in a situation, maybe feeling strength in hard times, like maybe we need to feel comforted, maybe we need to feel strong, maybe we're having a difficult time with something, and we would like to have our intuition to help us feel that feeling that we'd like to be feeling instead. And I really feel like through connection with our intuition, we really build this super strong trust in the universe. And so everything in my life has changed over the past few months. I sold my house, I got a divorce, I moved, my daughter even moved out of the house. The only thing that's the same is I have my 2 cats. That's it. Everything else is different. And so I remember there were times that I was like, you know, if this was the old me, I would be like totally lost or freaking out, or like, and during the process of all of this happening, it's like one thing would come up and one thing would come up and this plan would change and that plan would change. And I was like, man, I wouldn't have been able to handle this. But I know that with my connection to my intuition, my spirit guides, I've developed this really strong trust in the universe, this really strong trust that whatever happened is going to be the best for me. And so I just took things one day at a time, one step at a time. And there were a couple evenings where I just felt super overwhelmed and I had to like sit down and just feel that feeling. But for the most part, I really thought that I was handling it really well. Feeling the same energy. Yes, Amber has just moved as well. So that there was kind of a lot to our transition, right? There was so much that we had to get done and so much we had to do. Yes. Okay. So, another thing, getting out of fear-based thoughts, right? So in the example that I gave, when I just uprooted my entire life to get a divorce, you know, like I could have been afraid that this was going to happen or that was going to happen. So there was this one instance that I recognized that my partner was not a trustworthy person. And I literally freaked out that morning. I went through this like total breakdown. I was like, oh my God, what if they put money for the house into a joint account and he takes all of it? You know, and I was in this fear-based thought that my soon-to-be ex-husband was going to steal my half of the money for the house. And so there's lots of times that we can kind of get into this fear-based energy or this fear-based thoughts. And I feel like really connecting to our intuition and that trust in the universe that I was just kind of talking about can really help us get out of that fear-based thinking. If that's what we want, you know, if we want to move forward and we want to feel better, then tapping into our intuition can be really important. Anything else that I'm forgetting, guys? Any reasons why you like to tap into your intuition? My cats are like chasing each other around right now. Okay, so let's talk now about some tips for deepening your intuition. And if you have any tips too, leave them down below. What are some ways that you deepen your intuition? And first off, I'd like to say daily meditation. I kind of mentioned this already. I think that it's a really good way to signal to yourself that you would like this connection, right? This is a really good way for you to signal to yourself in the universe that you're ready to accept guidance, you're ready to be attached to your truth, like you're ready to be connected to the truth of who you are. Because I feel like in that meditation space, you feel that stillness and that truth of who you are. And so to connect to your truth will help you get in tune with your body. It'll help you get in tune with your spirit, and hopefully spirit guides or your higher self. And so another suggestion that I think is really important, and you can use this along with all of the other tools that we're going to talk about today, meditation, Christy says meditation is hard for her. So what are your guys' challenges when it comes to meditation? I think for me, some of the things that really helped me get into a meditation is just to show up, right? So even if you're going to do like 3 minutes a day, maybe your first goal is going to be for the first week, I'm going to do 3 minutes a day. I'm just going to show up. All it is about putting on a meditation, sitting there, and you're done. Like, don't put too much pressure on yourself to clear your mind or breathe in a certain way or do it in a certain way. Just show up. Some things that really helped me is, like things like rubbing my 2 fingers together while I'm meditating, really concentrating on the breath. So feeling it come in your nose and out, or something like that. So like being connected to physical sensation for me really helps me stay present when I'm in meditation. But yeah, I feel like try not to overthink it. Try not to do anything other than show up. I like to use Insight Timer for my meditations. If you'd like some suggestions for some meditations, I could send them to you. But what I did is I would just type in a topic. It's a free app. You type in a topic. Like at first I was really working on self-love. So I put in self-love, and I wanted maybe a 5-minute meditation. So I'd pick a 5-minute self-love meditation. Just show up, concentrate on the words, concentrate on your breath, and don't put too much pressure on yourself. Yeah. Okay, so this tip can work in conjunction with absolutely everything else. And I think if you're going to pick just one, this is the one you want to do. An intuition journal. So whether you want to take a journal that you've already used, that's been sitting on the shelf for a long time that you haven't used, or if you want to buy a special journal just for this intuition journal, this is like a huge way to jot down the little things that you notice, the little things each and every day, and then when you start to go through it, you can start to see a pattern. So Amanda says she makes the fingertips of her opposite hand touch each other like this, Amanda, because it helps me feel grounded. Me too. I really like concentrating on physical touch. I feel like it helps me stay in the present moment better. And too, like, you're going to have thoughts come up. It's okay. If you can, release them and come back to the breath, or come back to the fingers, or whatever's keeping you grounded and present. I love that. Thank you, Amanda. Okay, so the intuition journal. You're going to write down anything that you feel like is intuition. So if you have a crazy dream that you're like, oh my gosh, that dream feels to me to be more than just a dream, write it down. Grab your intuition journal, write it down. Write down the repeating numbers that you see every day. Write down your signs. So for me, I tend to see feathers for my signs, or like owls if it's a sign from my mom, or if, like maybe dragonflies for my mom. Write down the signs that you see. Write down the number patterns that you're seeing. Write down what those number patterns mean for you on those days. Like a 111 might mean for you, I'm at one with the universe today, but then tomorrow, maybe it means something, it feels something totally different for you. So just write it all down. If you do any meditations, write down what you got out of the meditation. Write down any ahas or insights. Those are huge. We're going to be talking about asking yourself questions. Let's move on to that one. One of the things that you can do to really connect with your intuition is just ask yourself questions. And this journal can be a place where you put all those answers. And so asking yourself a question, for one thing, make sure they're good questions, guys. Why is everything terrible happening to me is not a good question. Make sure that these are empowering questions, right? Make sure that your questions are empowering and beneficial for you. So it could be, what are the next steps for me in my business? Or how can I improve my relationship with this certain person? How can I find forgiveness in my heart for some way that I was wrong before? Or how can I let go of this trauma from my past? Like, healing questions are really great. But it kind of depends on what you want, what you're working on, and all of that sort of thing. So maybe it can be like, what's the next step for me? Like, what's next for me in my spiritual growth? Or even, how can I connect with you better? Asking your spirit guides or your higher self for connection can be really powerful too. Just putting out into the universe what you wanted or what you want. Christy says she's having nightmares, so I could write those down and try to figure out what they mean. 100%. Write them down, see if there's anything connecting, see if there's anything parallel. Try to kind of look at it with your conscious mind in the daytime, thinking of like, okay, what am I noticing as a pattern, and what does that mean for me? I remember, we all have such crazy dreams, right? I remember one time I had this dream that I was like in this humongous toilet. Like I was living in a humongous toilet. Now, if that was a repeating dream, I definitely would have tried to dive deeper into that. Yeah, so asking yourself really good questions. Anybody have any suggestions on how they have increased their intuition? This kind of comes into play with meditation, but just being present. I remember I had a teacher once that told me, you don't have to sit down and put on a meditation to meditate. She said you could meditate while you're washing your hands. You could meditate doing all of the regular things. And I think what she was trying to say is like being present, being in the present moment, enjoying this moment that's right here, right now, is in itself meditation. And so being present is a huge way. And I feel like it's almost like you can't connect with your intuition unless you're present. I was up a Schitt's Creek. I love you, Paige. I was, obviously. Yes. So yeah, I feel like it's not only like something that you can do, but it's like a prerequisite. You have to be present to be connected with your intuition. If you're worried about the past, if you're thinking about the future, or you're worried about the future and you're thinking about the past, it's going to be really hard for you to connect. It's going to be really hard for you to connect with your body, with your mind, with your third eye, any of that. Okay, another thing is working with crystals, and we kind of talked about this last week too, and that's like setting up kind of a ritualistic environment. So for me, when I meditate, I always light incense. I might sage. The cat. I might sage, I might light incense. Some people light candles. I tend to not do that. The last time I lit a candle, one of my cats caught himself on fire. So I tend to steer clear of candles. At least in the house. But setting up like this kind of ritualistic environment, crystals in themselves amplify power and can help you, or amplify energies and can help you connect with certain energies, so they can be really useful when it comes to connecting with our intuition. I had this deck, it's in storage right now, but I had this deck that was all about crystals, and you pull a card and it talks about that crystal and its healing properties and its message for you, and that was really awesome too. I love crystals for that reason. I have a little stack of all of my favorites here with me. I stored the rest. Any other ideas, guys? Anything else that you can think of? And what would you say are your top ways of connecting with your intuition? What do you feel like if you started today with that intuition journal, what would you be writing on it right away? So I had a quick announcement. I will be doing a 5-day challenge. I'm hopefully going to be posting the sign-up link in the next couple of days. And it's going to be all about manifestation. So we are going to talk about manifestation for 5 days straight soon. I'm so excited. Maybe hold a crystal while meditating. Yeah, I love that. I've done that. I've done that a lot. Like I just hold it in my hands in front of me. Walking in the woods. Yes, yes, yes. Amber and I, Amber's here with us today too. Amber and I used to go on hikes in the woods, and we would always take some time for quiet. So we would sit there and we would just listen to nature for, like, set a timer and just listen to nature. Even when she was really little. Connecting with nature, I love that. Absolutely. I didn't put that on my list, but that is 100%. It helps me with my intuition so much. Confused about where I am in life. So I'm so glad you're here with us, Christy. I can't wait to hear how connecting with your intuition goes. Connecting with your spirit guides. So peaceful and powerful. Yeah, absolutely. Nature is beautiful, and it brings us back to our own natural state, I feel like. Amanda says maybe trying to figure out whatever problem, if it's my gut feeling or if it's anxiety. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that, Amanda. So, what's the difference between a gut feeling or anxiety? So, Amanda, I want you to listen to the video last week. And at the end, we do an exercise. And instead of looking for your yes and your no, I want you to look for your intuition and your anxiety, okay? It's a really great exercise, and all you have to do is tune in and feel which one feels like what. So for me, anxiety feels like a huge tightening in my chest, but a gut feeling actually feels light in my body. So please jump on that last video. It's right at the end if you even want to skip the video and just go right to the end. Do that exercise that we did and do it for intuition versus anxiety. Paige says says by a creek or a waterfall. I love that. We went to this double waterfall a couple weeks ago, and it was so beautiful. If I'm ever like in meditation, going to like a happy place or like a clearing, or like some sort of when the meditation tells you to go to a place, I always picture something with waterfalls, something with water, very clear, beautiful water. It definitely makes me feel so connected. Christy, I like this. Okay, guys, that is it for today. Watch for the link to sign up for the Manifesting Challenge. Also, please feel free to invite any friends to the group that you think might be interested. There's a little invite link up there at the top of the group. You can just click on invite and you can select some friends to invite to the group. Amber says Porcupine Falls was so amazing. It was beautiful. Both Amber and Sid got into the water. It was so cold. Okay, guys, you guys have a great day. I will see you next Sunday, and have a great holiday weekend. I'll talk to you guys all soon. Post, if you get a journal, an intuition journal, I want you to post it in the Facebook group. Show us what it looks like. You can even show us some pages if you want. You can share some of the journal entries on there. I'd love to see them. Okay, bye guys.